Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Diego Knows. I'm Diego, and today we're going to talk about episode 3 of And Just Like That, which is the Sex and the City reboot show. Sorry about that. First of all, I want to apologize for not posting in a while. I got a little caught up with the Spider-Man movie, the new one that came out this weekend, so it's really focused a lot on that. But now I'm back. So to start off with here, first of all, I want a disclaimer. I want to say, yes, I am completely aware about the allegations against actor Chris Noth, and that's not going to affect my review of this episode, but I will talk about that after I review the episode. Okay. So first of all, let's start with episode 3 of And Just Like That. It starts off with you've got Carrie again, and she's at her job with the trans thing, Shay. Yeah, that's her name, Shay, and the guy that I mentioned before. He's supposed to represent heterosexual men. He's a short Asian guy with a mullet and a beer belly, and he's wearing like a pink wife beater, or no, he's like a pink Hawaiian shirt unbuttoned with a yellow wife beater underneath. He just looks ridiculous. I mean, he looks freaking ridiculous. And I guess this is the guy that's supposed to represent heterosexuality, for men. Here's the guy that represents all the straight guys in New York. And his jokes aren't even funny. He's basically an incel. He's the kind of guy that, wishes he could get laid, but is like overly fascinated with sex. The guy that would just like watch porn for like 12 hours a day, 24 hours a day if he could, that kind of guy, but he wouldn't know what to do with a girl if there was one right in front of him, that kind of guy. Okay. And I guess that's what this show wants you to think that this is what men are, so, he's our representation on the podcast. Okay. Well, I just accept it. All right, fine. Moving on. He's not funny, by the way. It'd be different if he was funny, but he's not funny. Howard Stern was funny. Okay, this guy's not funny. So anyway, Shay's there being an alpha male bitch like she always is. Carrie's still dealing with her grief, but although I can't understand why she'd go to work if she's still grieving over her husband. But maybe it's just her way of therapy. I think Shay made some off remark jokes about her losing her husband, which wasn't very funny. But anyway, so that happened. Afterwards, the episode focuses on the reading of the will, Big's will. So she goes to see the lawyer. Miranda goes with her, and I guess Big's assistant, personal assistant or secretary, the old lady that we saw at the funeral in episode 2, she's there, and they're reading the will together. And of course, the lawyer is a man, and he's apparently he's fighting with his wife. And as realistic as the show is, of course, the wife calls while he's in the middle of his job. He tells his secretary, hey, put her on hold, but it's his wife. And so, she calls him and he's like, okay, I have to take this call, whatever. But he says, no, I'm not going to answer her call. Then he says, okay, I'll take it. And where was I? And then Miranda, of course, she's up there sticking up for women's rights. You were just ignoring your wife, And okay, they need to change Miranda's name to Karen. Okay, seriously, I can't take much more of her. I really can't. It was a little cuter. There's like I said, this show, what I'm doing right now, this is a straight man's point of view. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, okay? But I'm telling you the honest to God truth. This is how men think. Most men, not all men, this is how most men think. Most straight men think, okay? There is a scale, okay? A ratio scale, okay? The better looking you are, the more men will put up with your shit, okay? The better looking you are, the more they'll put up with it, okay? The less good looking you are, the less men will put up with your shit, okay? Miranda's not exactly getting better looking every day, okay? But her attitude is getting worse every day, okay? This isn't the same Miranda from 10, 15 years ago, okay? This is a much worse Miranda than before, all right? And she seems to be all about women's rights and fuck all men. Now, she was already that way, but, there was times where she had to temper it. There's times where she had to suppress that, like she had to throw all that shit out the window when she fell in love with Steve, that kind of thing. But it's back now, and it's worse than it was before, okay? And here's this woman who has absolutely no problem with her son having sex with his girlfriend in their house where she can hear it. And and her son and his girlfriend, they're 17 years old. I don't know how old the girl is, but her son's 17. And they're walking around the house and basically in their underwear, okay? While their parents are in the next room watching TV, And Brady's girlfriend has no problem disrespecting her. Disrespecting his boyfriend's mom in her own fucking house. Making jokes about how old she is, and then laughing about it, I mean, the level of disrespect, if someone first of all, that would never happen in my house. And second of all, if my son's girlfriend disrespecting me like that in my own fucking house, get the fuck out, and you're not coming back in here again. Oh, you love her that much, son? Tell you what, you get the fuck out of here when you're 18. You get your own place, and then you invite her over as much as you want. And y'all can talk shit about me all you want. But until then, no fucking way she allowed in this fucking house. Okay? This girl has no. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but this girl has no amount of respect for her boyfriend's parents, for her boyfriend's house. You know, and they're just letting it happen like it's nothing. Now Miranda has no problem with that, but she has a problem with Carrie's lawyer taking, not wanting to talk to his wife that he's fighting with. And of course, he doesn't go to the next room to argue with his wife. He's right there. He's 5 feet away arguing with his wife so that they can hear everything. So they just go ahead and read the will without him. And it turns out that Big left $1 million to Natasha. Now, if you remember when Natasha, she was played by actress Bridget Moynahan. I remember her extremely well from the show Blue Bloods, where she was what's called Donnie Wahlberg's sister and Tom Selleck's daughter. Okay, Bridget Moynahan plays Natasha, who was Big's second wife on the show. We never met his first wife, but his second wife on the show. Remember, Carrie was all in love with him, and he didn't want to settle down. The next thing you know, next season he comes back and he's married all of a sudden to this hot young girl. Well, she's older now. And Carrie was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even know you told me you didn't want to get married." We remember that. Okay, so anyway, so he left $1 million to her. There's some speculation about like, oh, maybe this is his way of apologizing to her for cheating on her with Carrie, because Carrie did sleep with Big while he was married to this woman. And let's not forget, okay, that Carrie cheated on her boyfriend too, Aiden, to sleep with Big. Okay, so she was doubly wrong. But anyway, so that happens, and she gets obsessed with the idea. Why would Big leave Natasha this money? And she's just moping around for the whole episode, like stalking Natasha, trying to find out where she works, trying to contact her through email, through cell phones, texting, Instagram. She's like basically stalking Natasha, trying to get a hold of this woman. This is a woman who she slept with her husband, and they got divorced. Okay, now a normal human being would not do that. Okay, the money, it was Big made that decision to give her that money. Whatever that reason is, fine. But for some reason, Carrie decides that it's her mission to find out why. Maybe he was having an affair with her or something, which I really doubt that. But there's other ways. There's other ways she could have contacted her. She could have done it through a third party. She could have done it through an attorney. She didn't have to do it personally. She didn't have to confront her physically. So they track her down to her job. Stanford shows up again, which is probably going to be his last scene. But they have dinner or they have lunch together. And he makes it. There's this big thing about he makes it a table for 4 when there's only 3 of us here. Well, I'm part of the team now, Stanford says, which is so sad because he did pass away in real life. Willie did pass away in real life, and he's not going to be on the show anymore. But so they're discussing that. Carrie's just obsessed with this idea. Miranda, of course, just being a bitch like always. Just I hate men. And she does it very subtly. She doesn't just say I hate men. Okay, she's just like the way she treats men and the way she treats her girlfriends completely different. Even the way she treats like the waiters. She's a fucking Karen. Look at the way she treats all the men, especially white men. I don't think she's even had an interaction with the colored man yet. But look at the way that she treats all the men up to these 3 episodes. Okay? Look at the way that she treated the security guard at the university. Okay? The way she treats the waiter in today's episode, in this episode. Look at the way she treats him. Look at the way she treats her son. At the funeral, she berates him in front of everybody at the funeral, at her best friend's husband's funeral. She has no problem berating him in front of everybody. Look at the way she treated Carrie's lawyer, when they're in the office there. Yeah, okay. And then add on top of that, add the drinking. Miranda's becoming more and more unlikable. And I'm going to say this right now about Miranda, and I want to end my discussion about Miranda with this right here. Okay, I know damn well that in real life, Cynthia Nixon is a lesbian. Okay, apparently she used to be straight. She fell in love with a woman. She left her husband and married a woman. They have a kid together now, whatever. They've been married together for a long time. Good, I'm happy for her. I'm happy she found herself, okay? But if I remember correctly, the character that she plays, okay, Miranda Hobbs, is not a lesbian. And we know that because there was an episode about that. I think it was in the first season. Where her coworkers at the law firm thought that they assumed she was a lesbian, so they tried to fix her up on a blind date with a girl. and then she like tried to kiss the girl at the end of the episode. And she's like, no, 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 I like guys, So no, she's not a lesbian, okay? But now apparently she is a lesbian. So the difference between, 1998 and 2021 is, besides Cynthia Nixon being older and less attractive, sorry ladies, but she is that she's a producer now. Okay, so she has some say on what happens to her characters. It's not all up to the writers anymore, like it was back then. Okay, so I think she's going to take this as her opportunity to kind of cultivate her best known role, her best known character. So she's like, okay, so now I'm going to leave my husband Steve for a woman. Okay, and I think that's where it's going with, because by the end of the episode, Miranda is giving fuck me eyes to Shay, the well, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, all right? And he gives her like a shotgun of weed, Now remember, she was berating her son for smoking weed, but now she's gonna smoke weed with the same woman that was giving her son weed. Yeah, how things change so quickly, right? And so she invites the girls over to Shay's stand-up comedy. I swear to God, this girl Shay, that's the thing that was complaining about Dave Chappelle. Yeah, that's the one that was reporting Dave Chappelle, trying to get Dave Chappelle canceled from Netflix. That was her. I know it's not her, but it was her, okay? Maybe not in actuality, but in spirit, it was her, okay? Because this bitch is not fucking, yeah, I said bitch. This bitch is not funny. She's kind of charming, she's got all those smart aleck remarks, she's really quick-witted, but she's not funny, okay? I'm sorry, going up to everybody in a room full, look at the people in that crowd, okay? They're all lesbians, and I'm talking ugly lesbians, not even the pretty ones. And she's like, who here wants to fuck me? Who here have I fucked? And then she starts talking about change. Like, fuck that, then change the story. Change your sexuality, change your gender, change your, and everyone's, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so everyone's clapping about, what if you were to change? What if someone did change? What if all those lesbians in that audience did change? Like she said, change. Change. That's the whole point of her act, right? Change it. If you don't like it, then change it. Okay. What happens if everyone changed it and became straight all of a sudden? You can't say that. You're anti-LGBT. You're homophobic. You see what I mean? The message is stupid. Change. So that means if people who live their lives as heterosexual decide to change and become or act homosexual, doesn't that also mean that someone who is homosexual can change and become heterosexual? Right? Now, personally, I don't believe this shit, okay? But I'm saying, in the context of this episode and the jokes that she's making, wouldn't that also make sense that somebody realize that they're not really gay and they're really straight? And that it would be okay to change? See, how come it's only allowed to go one way but not the other way? You see what I mean? Now the joke's not funny anymore. You see? That's what I'm talking about. And that's how political this show's getting. All right? So we're going that way. The idea that a gay person, that a straight person can become gay is applauded in the gay community. Yes, absolutely. Live your truth. But the idea that a gay person can become straight, you're homophobic. You don't understand how gay people work. You see what I mean? Okay? And that's what we're getting here. Okay? I know where the show's going now. I totally get where the show's going. And I'm telling you, and I'm not the only one. Okay? If you guys have been looking at the reviews, looking at the other YouTubers, okay, the real YouTubers that are out there, okay? Yeah, we're all kind of getting the same thing here. Like this show's a piece of shit. All right. And the last thing about Miranda is they're putting way too much emphasis on her as Carrie's best friend. Miranda is not equipped to be Carrie's best friend. Okay. Besides the fact that she's a complete fucking unlikable bitch now, and less attractive than she was back then. Remember the scale I told you about? Okay. Well, okay. No guy's gonna put up with that shit. Okay. Steve's not just blind, deaf. He's blind. All right. No guy's gonna put up with that shit. All right, not from her. No, it might have been cute when she was younger and pretty. Not anymore. Not any fucking more. And it doesn't matter whether you're fucking president of your fucking law firm or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. It does not fucking matter. Men do not care about that shit. Okay? So that's not gonna work. Her character type, her personality type, I think when they created this show, they created it for the four women. And when they realized that Kim Cattrall was not gonna come back, I think they decided to combine Samantha and Miranda together, okay? I think that's a horrible decision. It does not work. It does not fit. Miranda is not somebody's rock. She never has been. She's somebody who needs a rock, okay? She's somebody who needs someone, you know. Carrie has more emotional fortitude than Miranda does. Miranda can talk shit all day long. She can be pessimistic as fuck. But the bottom line is she's scared. She's scared, and when she gets scared, she needs someone to help boost her up. Okay? Remember when she gained all that weight after she had the baby? Remember that? Remember how all the girls had to come to her aid for her self-esteem? Remember that? Remember she couldn't fit into those jeans? Okay, that's the kind of character Miranda is. All right? Now, as far as Samantha goes, Samantha has always been the rock on the show. She is the tough one on the show. Let me say, now with Samantha, it's a two-way thing. Okay, as far as how guys think about Samantha, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, I'll start off with the bad. Okay, any woman like Samantha, okay, with a high body count like her, is not someone that any man, a high-value man, would take seriously. Okay, even a low-value man wouldn't take seriously. Because Samantha, she'll fuck a homeless guy just like she'll fuck a millionaire. Okay, she doesn't care. If she wants to get laid, if she likes this person, she's attracted to them, she's gonna fuck them. That's Samantha's character. Fine, more power to her. Okay, but anyone with a high body count like that is not going to be able to keep a man with a high sexual market value. Like Big, for example. Big. Someone like Big would never take Samantha seriously. Okay, a movie star, a CEO of a company, a high value man, the kind of man that women just go for, that the high value women go for, would never take someone like Samantha seriously. That's the illusion of the show. Okay, that was Samantha was the fantasy character for a lot of the female viewers. Oh, what if I could be like Samantha and just be able to fuck all these incredible men? Well, in real life, you can fuck those guys, and you don't have to be Samantha. But no guy's gonna take you seriously. No guy's gonna put a ring on it. Okay. And I've talked to my guy friends about this before, all right? And we've all admit, okay, Samantha, that's the chick that when you drink too much at the bar and you just want to get laid, okay, yeah, I'll take you home. Fuck it. Carrie's the nicest one, but her neurosis and the fact that she dresses like a fucking clown from the circus would turn me off after a while. Miranda, fuck that. Bitch, in a fucking half, I ain't sticking it in there. And then Charlotte was sweet and nice, but the longer you get to know her, you're going to realize that she's not all there, And what I mean is that she's not very smart, and she's extremely superficial. If you're not making it in the high six figures, she ain't even going to talk to you. Okay, so we all looked at that and go like, okay, well, yeah, we would fuck Samantha because she would be the easiest one to fuck. It wouldn't be much of a conquest. I know Samantha will never say that. Oh, you have to earn me. No. The truth is you don't. Okay, she's a dime a dozen. Okay, that's the part they don't talk about on the show as far as Samantha goes. Okay, is no matter how sexually aggressive Samantha is, there's fucking 15 better looking women than her standing right behind her. Okay, she's not all that. Okay, but out of the 4 girls, she is the one that acts like she's all that. And that's why we like her so much. Okay. So no, a guy would never take a woman like Samantha seriously. So ladies out there, if your goal is to be like Samantha, you're going to end up alone with cats. Okay. Just like the real Samantha, Candace Bushel, is alone in her mansion by herself with cats. But I digress. Okay. So that's the bad. The good thing about Samantha's character is that Samantha's character has balls of steel. Okay. She has courage. A lot more courage than the 3 girls. Okay, when the shit needs to get done, Samantha is the one that you lean on because she has no fear. She can take it. She's got the shoulders to take it. I think about when in the movie when Big stood Carrie up at her wedding. Who was the one that took care of all the shit? It was Samantha. Samantha took care of everything. Okay, Samantha was the one that turned their honeymoon in Cancun into a vacation in Cancun. For all 4 of them. And when the girls were like, hey, but I can't go to Cancun, I got a job. And Charlotte's like, I got a job too. Remember Samantha grabbed the other 2 girls and pointed to Carrie who's moping on the couch? You get it. No, ladies. That girl is our job. You see, that was Samantha took charge of that situation. Because Samantha's a leader. She's a leader. Balls of steel. Okay? And I think that's another reason that people love her so much, is because she's that strength. Yes, she's misguided. Yes, she's a fucking whore. Yes, she makes a fool of herself a lot of times too. She does. She doesn't do everything perfectly. And yes, she's the first girl that a guy will fuck, but she's also the last girl that a guy will take seriously. Okay. But having said all that, she has her good qualities too, and she is a fucking rock for these girls. Okay, she's the strength. Okay, not Miranda, Samantha. Okay, and right now the show is trying to make Miranda carry strength, and it's just not gonna fucking work. Okay, that's Samantha's role. Miranda cannot fill those shoes. Her feet aren't big enough to fill those shoes. Her Manolo Blahniks are not big enough to fill those shoes. Okay, that was Samantha's role, and I am missing Samantha right now. The fact that even if Samantha was pissed at Carrie, she never would have missed Big's funeral. Never. She would have put her shit aside to be there for Carrie. Okay, because they've done that before. They've been pissed off at each other, but when the big shit, major shit hits the fan, they show up for each other. And the fact that Samantha's not there because they got into a fight over her firing her as a publicity agent, get the fuck out of here. Ripley don't believe that shit. All right, so no, I don't see that happening at all. The show's missing Samantha. It really is. They're trying to make Miranda that role, and she just cannot fill that role. Now, at least Samantha was likable. Miranda's not likable. Okay. So no, the show's not working, and it's not going to work the way it is. All right, and Charlotte, of course, we have a subplot here going on with Charlotte. Charlotte's daughter is like 12 or something. The white, not the Asian one they adopted, their biological daughter. And she says she doesn't feel like a girl. So now we're starting to get to the whole like, hey, I'm trans and you better put up with it. And of course Charlotte, because Charlotte of course takes everything literally and seriously. Oh my God, I guess I'm treating her different now. The fact that her gay friend Anthony, okay, this is one of the things I love about Anthony. Okay, her friend is Anthony, as flamboyant as he is, and with all the gay jokes that he makes, with all the, oh, that guy's hot, with all that flamboyant gayness that he has, all right? I swear to God, there is a reason that he is Charlotte's best friend, okay? And that reason is this fucker will tell her the truth. He's got nothing to lose by telling her the fucking truth. The way I'm telling you the truth right now. Anthony will tell Charlotte the truth, okay? Now you can get mad at me for telling the truth because I'm a straight guy. Oh, he's just a fucking guy. He's got a penis, But if I was gay, then it'd be like, oh, absolutely, I need to hear that. Thank you. You see what I mean? That's the difference. So because Anthony's gay, he can get away with saying shit that I would get slapped in the face for. Okay? And he tells her the fucking truth. Hey, she's a fucking kid. Maybe she feels like a man today. Maybe tomorrow she'll feel like a girl. Who fucking knows? Why fucking change her whole fucking life? Anthony's the one making sense here. I never thought that they would have anyone in the show make sense because the way the show's going, it's like, no, they've got one point of view and they're going with it. But no, Anthony actually had a counterpoint of view. Anthony's making sense here. Holy shit. He's actually making sense. He's telling her straight up, no, we don't know yet. Why are you panicking right now? Why are you trying to make decisions on this right now? She's just a young girl, okay? She probably just hit puberty. Her hormones are going crazy. She doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Today she thinks she's a boy. Tomorrow she might not. Why are we already setting up the gender reassignment surgery already? Like what the fuck? Maybe she'll grow out of this. But what if she doesn't? Well, then you will deal with it then. But right now she's just a fucking little kid. And that totally makes sense. And I can't believe that they put that in there. I honestly thought the show would never go there. So points for the show, points for the writers. At least they got that part. At least someone with some sense said something on this show. So good for that. But what else happened in the show? Okay, so Carrie confronts Natasha, played by Bridget Moynahan. There's a part where she catches her in the bathroom. Okay, I don't think Bridget Moynahan like 10 years ago would have rejected a script that had her character, sitting on the toilet and the door opens up on her, and they filmed it. Okay, I don't think she would have done that 10 years ago, but now apparently she'll do it. It must have been a good paycheck. Remember what I said about the first episode where Big was masturbating? And I'm like, don't do it. This is what you can be remembered for. Well, he's gonna be remembered for worse, actually. But if that hadn't happened, he would have been remembered for that. Well, I think now Bridget Moynahan's gonna be remembered for this. Okay, it's like you can never look at them in the eye again. I've done that before. She didn't lock it, like, but you can never look at them in the eye again. Okay, so I swear to God, the next time Bridget Moynahan acts in a TV show or something, that's what people are gonna remember. Opening the toilet and seeing her there. Okay, anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, so that happened, and they kind of bury the hatchet, um, and Carrie is stalking her, and Bridget, and she points it out to her. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you following me? Why are you trying to contact me on Instagram? Why are you trying to, and now you followed me to this cafe, Another YouTuber noticed that we're not hearing the monologue. We're not hearing the voiceover that Carrie used to do. Remember Carrie used to do the voiceovers that would explain certain stuff in the episode? She used to narrate the episodes. Carrie would narrate the episodes. She's not narrating anymore. So now she's saying things like on the phone, like, okay, well, I'm going to stop here at this coffee place and I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm going to buy a cup of coffee so I don't feel bad about using the bathroom. I was like, this is the stuff that the voiceover would have taken care of, you know? So I just noticed that. Like another YouTuber pointed that out to me. He's like, yeah, that's right. Carrie's not narrating the episodes anymore. That is kind of weird, So that happens. She has her confrontation. They forgive each other. Well, actually, Natasha forgives Carrie. And tells her, oh, I don't know why Big married me when he was in love with you the whole time. Which I'm sure made Carrie feel better. But Carrie did burn herself. Get it? She burned herself with she spilled coffee on herself when she opened the bathroom door. So she literally and figuratively burned herself in her relationship with Natasha. So yes, yeah, it's right there. Okay, it's not subtle at all. So that happens, and what else? I think that's about it. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is there have been recent allegations against the actor Chris Noth. If you've been watching the media, you know what's going on with him. Right after the show aired. Now, I'm not here to condemn anyone because I don't know the facts. The media is gonna play up, whether this person should come or go, But look at it this way. All right. Have you seen Johnny Depp's new movie? Yeah, you have? No, you haven't. No one has because he hasn't made a new movie. You see. And unfortunately, when stuff like this happens, there's no way to know for sure. You got to remember that Chris Noth, and when he got the role of Big was the most coveted role on that show. Okay, so you can imagine when Chris Noth walks into a room full of women, they're all, if they're fans of the show, they're gonna be all over him. Okay, but it only takes one. It only takes one person to say no. For it to be a sexual assault. And apparently that's what happened. These women, and there's more coming out every day. Like initially it was 2. I know it's more than that now. It's like this is like Harvey Weinstein type stuff going on here. And they're not charging him. They're not charging. They're not claiming that he touched them inappropriately. They're claiming he did a lot worse than that. Okay, I don't think I can say that on YouTube, but it rhymes with the word grape. Okay, and so he's already been fired. There was another show that he was on. He just got fired from it, So yeah, he's pretty much done, Well, I don't know how they're going to handle it. They're still, he's got to get the lawyers, got to get involved. All this kind of stuff's going to happen. But his career is pretty much done. Once you're accused of this shit, that's it for you. Like career-wise, he's done. So we'll see what happens. I will say this though, if he is guilty, even if it's just one, if only one victim and the rest of them were lying, then he needs to have the book thrown on him. Seriously, because that's not that's not the kind of men, because they do exist out there. I'm never going to say men are all good. Okay, there's men that are assholes, just like there's women that are assholes. So this whole thing about believe all women, well, women lie, okay, and so do men. Men lie too. Okay, so there's no way to know for sure, who's telling the truth and who's not. But I tend to think that most people are honest, most men are honest, and most women are honest. Doesn't mean that's the case here, but I like to believe that. So if there is any validity in this stuff, then justice needs to be done. And I felt that way about Bill Cosby. I felt that way about Harvey Weinstein. And that's no way. Society can't run like that. And when you do that, you do irreparable harm to people. And for the record, this stuff happens to men too. It happens to boys. In fact, if you look at the statistics, if you add in prison statistics this way, men actually get raped a lot more than women do. So it is a problem, So I just got to set the word, damn it. But the point is that it's a horrible crime if it's true. And if so, the book needs to be thrown at him. And if not, then the books needs to be thrown at the people that accused him, because they shouldn't have to just walk away in the sunset. Oh, damn it didn't work. Maybe next time. And then just walk away. No. You ruin someone's life like that, you got to answer for it. All right. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, I don't like the way the show's going. It's really pissing me off, especially Miranda's character. I just, I think the wokeness is starting to really rear its head now. I'm starting to see less of a show and more of a political ideologue being portrayed here. I think the star of the show is its ideology and not so much its characters, which really sucks. I'm starting to really see that it was a bad idea to create this show without Samantha in there. Now, granted, I know Samantha's older than the other women. Okay, she'd be in her mid-60s, and nobody wants to see. I'm sorry, ladies, but nobody wants to see a woman in her mid-60s get naked and having sex with some 25-year-old ripped abs guy. Okay, guys don't want to see that shit. Okay, nobody wants to see that shit on TV. Okay, you know why? Because we would fucking laugh. People would just laugh at the TV screen and then never watch the show again. All right, that's the truth. Okay, there's nothing sexy about that. You know. So I don't think the show is going to be about sex. That's why it's not called Sex in the City. But I don't really see where they can go with this. I mean, you've got some pretty unlikable characters now. I don't even like Charlotte that much anymore. She's just such a wishy-washy. I mean, she berates her husband for going in the bathroom and taking a piss. I mean, what the fuck was she doing in the bathroom? She wasn't even doing anything in the bathroom. She was talking on the phone. She wasn't using the sink. She wasn't doing her makeup. She was just talking on the phone. He decides to go into his own fucking bathroom, and I'm pretty sure he's the one paying the bills there. Okay, to walk into his own bathroom and take a piss, and she gets mad at him for it. Like, what the fuck, And yeah, and of course, then there's the other stuff, like the clothes. I mean, Charlotte's always wearing the puffy sleeves and the dresses, and just it's like it's a callback to the old show. Okay, this woman Patricia Field, she did all the costume designs on the original Sex and the City. Okay, and she was very famous for it. Okay, I mean, that put her on the map. Okay, I mean, everyone knows that the fashion on that show was just as much a star on the show as the women, and she's not doing the fashion, she's not doing the clothes, the costumes this time. They got another woman doing it, and apparently that woman and Cynthia Nixon are not getting along at all. And there's articles going out there about Cynthia Nixon is a tyrant to work for, and this is the same woman that like ran for like governor of New York. Okay, no, So anyway, so that's all I know so far. I will go when the next episode comes out. I'll review that one too. Honestly, I don't want to do it. I'm getting turned off by this show. Maybe it'll turn around, but I'm really getting turned off by the show. But I did agree to stick through the whole thing, so I'm going to stick through the entire series. I watched every single episode of Sex and the City, even the ones I didn't like. I sat through and I watched all of them. And I watched both movies. Yes, I sat in the theater and watched that thing called Sex and the City Part 2. I did watch the whole thing. Did not walk out of the theater. So if I can do that, I can do this. All right. So anyway, yeah, this show is nowhere near as good as Sex and the City was. Okay. So anyway, so thank you for watching my review.